Hey everyone, have you ever thought about how crazy the e-commerce scene has gotten lately? Like anyone with a laptop can start an entire store all on their own, and connecting with customers has gotten easier than ever before too. And on top of that, the industry is growing at such a rate that you can probably quit your day job and work full time on e-commerce. But hey, you're going to need a solid platform to set up shop on. So today, I'm going to be telling you guys about my experiences with two of the best ones out there, Shopify and Etsy. They both cater to slightly different markets, but it's important to know which one would work best for you. So without further ado, let's get into the comparison. Also, if you haven't signed up for Shopify yet, you can use my link down below to get started with it. I'm gonna start off by comparing their pricing. If we focus on Shopify first, there are about 3 or 4 different pricing tiers that you can go for. The basic package is the most affordable tier of all, costing $19 a month and giving you some must-have features to set up your e-commerce presence. Then there's the Shopify package, which will run you about $49 per month. However, the rate you'd have to pay third-party payments providers goes from 2% to 1% if you go with this tier, which can help you save a ton of money in the long run. That makes the slightly higher monthly rate a lot easier to handle too, so try to keep this in mind. Now the tier I ended up going with was the advanced tier. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty dang expensive at $300 a month. Okay, technically speaking, it's $299 a month, but that $1 is not going to make a difference to anybody, will it? The reason I went for this package was because it provided some amazing features that I'll get into a little later on. Also, the cut for the third-party payments platform got reduced to just 0.6%. So even though I was paying more on a monthly basis, I was saving loads of cash per transaction. I should probably also mention all these prices only apply if you pay for the whole year up front. Paying on a monthly basis can kick the price up about 25%, so I'd strongly recommend paying annually to enjoy those sweet savings. So how does Etsy compare? Well, the first thing I noticed was that Etsy seemed a lot more affordable than Shopify. I mean, you can even use it for free if you'd like. And there's a paid tier that'll run you just $10 a month. It seems like there's no comparison, so Etsy obviously deserves a full score here, right? That might have been the case, but when I actually started using the platform, I noticed that there were loads of different hidden costs. Like with Shopify, you basically just pay your subscription fees and then call it a day. But over on Etsy, you'll need to pay for every single listing you'll put up. On top of that, there are transaction fees, currency conversion fees, and even payment processing fees to deal with. And let me tell you, the transaction fee is as high as 5%, which nearly gave me a heart attack because I thought Shopify's 2.5% fee was way too high to begin with. Overall, I realized that Etsy could get even more expensive than Shopify, at least if you're trying to run a proper store with a high volume of sales. Like, think of how many listings you'll put up, and now imagine how each listing fee will drag your profit margins down. Etsy's capacity for a large-scale business isn't up to scratch, at least in my book, so I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Shopify gets a 4 out of 5 for transparency and straightforwardness, although I'm docking a point because their packages are still pretty expensive. Okay, let's see how their features stack up. I have to admit, Shopify really brought its A game to the features table. Just for starters, you get the chance to list unlimited products in your store. That basically removes the cap on your potential growth and allows you to expand your product line as much as you want. Now, it can be a bit of a hassle to deal with so many different items, but with Shopify's inventory management system, it makes it an absolute breeze. You can even create multiple variants of the same product if you'd like to sell them in like different colors or with any other altered specifications. These customization options make it that much easier for your buyers to find what they're actually looking for, which means more sales for you, plus higher customer satisfaction to boot. And the customization doesn't stop there either. Shopify gives you a few templates to play around with while setting up your e-commerce storefront, but if you don't like what you see, it's super easy to change things up. There's a drag and drop customizer that allows you to make any changes you'd like, so you'll eventually have a digital store that looks just like you want it to. That's a functionality that Etsy lacks, by the way. So you'll have to settle for the rather dry templates that they offer. Shopify also wins the gold when it comes to marketing features too. I personally love those automated emails that informed my customers about new product listings, because they drove so much traffic to my store that I was sold out in a flash. And not to mention, Shopify gives you millions of discount codes. That's great for drawing new customers in and creating an audience for your product from absolute scratch. Nothing reels buyers in like freebies, am I right? Etsy doesn't really have any dedicated marketing features, but it does have a great search algorithm. I was surprised at how easily customers were able to find my products, and I realized it was all because of the complex algorithm that drove them my way. It just has a knack with connecting customers with products they'd like to buy. And that's just not something Shopify was able to compete with. With Shopify, you have to put some effort into finding buyers. So I really appreciated Etsy taking some of that burden off of my shoulders. And if we circle back to the customization issue, Etsy Pattern is a service that allows you to connect your own site to your Etsy store. It's not quite the same as Shopify's broad customization options, but at least it gives you some degree of control over your branding and other things like that. But there's one Shopify feature that pretty much sealed its victory in this area. I'm talking about the abandoned cart recovery notification. So basically, if you had a customer abandon their cart before completing their transaction, Shopify can automatically shoot them an email urging them to hit the buy button. And it's just a reminder email, so it's not going to annoy any of the customers. And frankly, it's essential to pull out all of the stops to drive those conversions. So the fact that Shopify is willing to help you with this speaks volumes about their commitment to making our lives easier. That's why I'm giving Shopify a 4.5 out of 5 in the features department. Etsy didn't do half bad either, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. All right, let's talk about the differences in the user experiences before I give my final verdict. One of the biggest aspects of the user experience is audience exposure. And it's safe to say that Etsy wins in that area. After all, you get access to some of the most dedicated crafts buyers on the internet. Shopify doesn't really have a built-in community like that, so you'll have to build an audience from the ground up. But at the same time, that kind of means that you can't find a customer base outside of Etsy. You're essentially tied to that community, which can be a good thing for small-scale business owners, but it's a bit of a nightmare if you want to up your sales volume or expand your reach. And then there's the whole matter of customer support. Shopify offers the whole 9 yards with phone support, live chat, and email support on offer. Etsy technically offers phone support as well, but get this, you'll need to have a so-called phone-based problem to get a call back. Generally speaking, email support is the only option you'll get on Etsy, and it takes them days to get back to you and solve your problem. I'm thinking Etsy deserves a 3.5 out of 5 in the user experience department, and as for Shopify, a 4 out of 5 is more than deserved. You know what that means? Yup, Shopify's the winner with a final score of 12.5 out of 15. It can be expensive, but that's worth it if you want to level up your business. And the features are more than worth the price. Etsy is best for small scale, artisanal crafts and stuff like that, so it might be worth a try if that's what you're into. A final score of 10.5 out of 15 reflects that, if you ask me. Also, if you haven't signed up for Shopify yet, you can use my link down below to get started with it. So what do you think? Will you be giving either of these platforms a try? Let me know your thoughts if you do, but that's all I have for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.